All right, here we are again, about to build out 20 Chaos Terminators for my World Eaters army. This is my setup. We have the model on sprue right here. This is just one set of 5 Terminators, and I have to build out 20 different models, and that's gonna be a lot of fun. We have our little snipper here by DSPIAE, I don't know, Despea? I don't know how to pronounce that. These are really good cutters. I'll show you in a second here. Yeah, they're just snippers, cutters, whatever you want to call it. Really good if you take care of it. It will probably last a long time. And then we have the X-Acto knife. And then we have the Tamiya extra thin cement. These are really good for smoothing out rough edges and rough surfaces if you can't get it with a knife. So yeah, really good. We have some sprue goo. It's basically the same thing. I've added extra sprues and plastic that I don't need into the glue. It was like half empty, and so I just added sprue and created this sprue glue. I'll probably do a video on how to use that. Really useful stuff. And then we have tweezers for doing things like the transfers. It's gonna be really important later. And then you have the basing tool, really good tool to use, makes basing really easy. We have a lot of paint over here. I think I've used just about everything here except this guy. I decided not to use this, so I'll probably sell it at some point. And then you have the GW glue, of course. This one's almost finished, but I have another one over there. This is actually really good. If you don't already know, I mainly use the GW one, the Citadel glue, just because it doesn't run as much. This Tamiya extra thin is also really good, but it kind of runs. It's a very runny, very watery type of cement. So once you apply it, you have to put it on very quickly, and if you put too much in, it might actually, get rid of detail. So this stuff is a lot more, a lot thicker, so it doesn't run, and so you're able to get things done more carefully. And then we have super glue over here. I use Gorilla Super Glue Gel. These are for putting the figures on the base, and also later putting the skulls and the grass stuff onto the base. Mainly for that kind of stuff, but if you do have sub-assembly type of thing where you paint it before you put it on, super glue is the way to go, simply because the cement actually melts the paint. So if you're painting before you assemble, you're gonna have to use super glue. Other than that, we have some undercoat over there, which is the undercoat that I use for just about everything. That's about it. Let's get started. We are done with the first 5 Terminators. And I think they're looking pretty great. I think these are fairly old models. They're not like newly designed. There's some mistakes in the instructions, but that's totally fine. These are really easy to build. So these are actually surprisingly really easy. There's actually slots on the body that the arm goes into. So if you want like a nice tight glue, it's a nice tight connection between the arm and the body, there's just slots that go in. But if you want a different pose and you want to change the pose of the arm, you can also do that. It's just a little more difficult to glue, but it's not that difficult at all. Just a little tip for you guys who are new to the hobby. If you're basing your models, you want to base it last after you've built the model, even though sometimes the instructions manual tell you to put it on before everything. The reason being is that you want to place the model on the base such that it's not protruding outside of the base too much. So as you can see here, I pushed the model all the way to the back because the gun actually points outward So if I had put him somewhere in the middle, the gun would be sticking out a little too much there. That's especially true with something like this. This guy has the Reaper autocannon. Oh, sorry, not this guy. Oops. This one. That's a huge weapon that is sticking out a lot from the base. But I pushed him all the way to the back. I could have done a little more, actually. I could have pushed him a little more behind, but I think this looks better. So the gun doesn't stick out as much. Hey guys, it's me from the future. At this point, I'm just showing you guys some of the processes that I take to assemble the Chaos Terminator models. Honestly, I had a lot of fun doing this. It's a pretty well-designed model and pretty easy to do. Here I'm just using my X-Acto knife to clean out some of the mold lines and some of the residue from the sprue. Pretty easy process, not too difficult. Now I'm just taking some of the glue, the thin glue, to sort of smoothen out the mold line that I just removed with the X-Acto knife. That's always fun to do. And then here I'm just removing some of the sprue residue with the cutters. A pretty standard process. It's pretty much the same every time. Here I'm using the Citadel glue to glue the parts on. Honestly, the Citadel will probably give you a stronger bond between the parts, so that's what I use mainly to glue things together. But the Tamiya glue also works pretty well. Keep in mind, if you're using the Tamiya glue to glue the parts together, they do have a shorter working time, so just keep that in mind. It also runs out really quickly if you're using that to glue parts on, as well as to use it to smoothen out some of the mold lines. You're going to run out of glue very quickly. So that's why I have two different glues at all times. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. I'm just going to be showing you more of the processes here in the next couple of minutes. I'll catch you later. That's 20 Chaos Terminators. We are finally done. We're done assembling, and we are also done getting rid of mold lines and the sprue residue and stuff like that. I think we mostly did a decent job, and most of these I did not want to spend too much time doing that, so we're just gonna leave this here, and we are gonna start undercoating. The plan is to undercoat these black, and then to do a zenithal with Mephiston red from the top, and then we'll have all of our reds done, which is most of this model is red. And then we are gonna start doing the gold trim and the blacks and the silvers and give it a nice wash. That should do it. And of course the eyes and the horns and the skull. It's gonna be a lot of work, but I'm super excited to undercoat this. So let's get started. All right, we are back from undercoating. Let's take a look at the result here. I'm pretty satisfied with how this turned out. So what we did was we undercoated Chaos Black, and then from the top, from a certain angle, we sprayed it with Mephiston red. And what you have here is basically kind of this light effect. That's a little more red and bright at the top and dark and black on the bottom. Kind of gives it a grim dark feel. It'll look a lot better once it's all painted. It'll look a lot clearer. Right now it's just undercoated, but I think this looks pretty good. I think the red is pretty much covered. It's a little on the darker side. Some of these turned out a little darker. So if you are looking for a more consistent way to paint, this might not be it for you. Maybe using a brush would be better, or better yet, using a airbrush. That would be a lot more consistent than this. But this is just a fast way to get the reds done. If you're playing World Eaters, there's a lot of red. So this just saves you a lot of time, and I personally think it looks great. All right, so let's get started with the painting. I'll see you guys on the next one.